98.7 WFGR, that is Supertramp and Goodbye Stranger. It is 8:30 on a Thursday morning. We're 5 days away from the election, and Dave Cackley and I have been going back and forth for years about the musical supremacy of two particular bands. One would be Genesis, who I am playing for, and the other would be the Eagles, who Dave thinks he's got some kind of...
This is, like I said before, this is a debate that's not a debate. It really isn't.
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you honestly. I just had a text from a gay friend.
Okay,
I have those because I'm cool.
Right.
I'm hip. I'm now.
You're all
I just got a text
inclusive.
from a gay friend, and you know what he said? Genesis rules.
Oh.
Now, if you can't even,
okay,
just saying.
That's fine.
That's cool.
You've,
Gays have exquisite
congratulations
taste.
on that.
They have exquisite
Is
taste.
that what am I supposed to say?
Because I know.
Congratulations.
We do have
gay people like Genesis, is what you're saying, which is great.
What's
God
wrong
bless
with
them. Nothing at all.
As you can tell,
you seem to be kind of showing the narrow fan base of Genesis.
This is why I'm going to win, because you're getting all wound up already.
I'm not wound up at all.
You're completely wound up.
Perfectly fine.
Lauren?
I've got the facts on my side.
I'm here to moderate this debate.
Lauren
this
is here to
morning.
officially moderate this debate,
I
and
mean-
you know what? It's a big day for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody at TV 13 celebrating the 50th anniversary of this TV stand. That's amazing.
Can you believe it? 50 years ago today, November 1st, back in the day, I can't believe we were on for 20 minutes and then had a technical difficulty.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I saw that too. And did you get the text?
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
right.
hold that pose. I'm watching Lauren.
Are we
She's
still
just
on
sitting
the
there
air?
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do fine with it, but Derek, he looks kind of like a deer in the headlights when that happens. I like that.
We just go, we got to keep going, keep moving on. But yeah, 50th anniversary.
Isn't that
and
something?
I love hearing from our viewers talking about all of the memories of growing up watching Bozo and being on the Bozo show, and then just all the different anchors and meteorologists and sports guys that they knew growing up. It's awesome to hear.
I remember being on the Bozo show.
That's right. How old were you when that happened?
8.
8 years old.
Yeah, I was 8, somewhere in that ballpark. And I remember Bozo, quote unquote, comes out and he made the joke in front of the crowd that we were all going to get a bottle of sody poop.
Oh,
And you know what?
That's some edgy stuff.
In the
man.
mom gallery, you could hear the.
Did he
That's funny.
Did he? Oh,
Did the
my.
kids all laugh, though?
Oh yeah,
course.
of course we did.
Anytime you can talk about boogers and snot and
Yeah,
poop, it's
yeah,
awesome. Kids
Anytime,
love
and
it.
then years later down the line, I ran into Bozo at a media event who just didn't happen to have his makeup on at the time.
And
I told him the story that I was on the show and I had played the Bucket Bonanza game and I made it to bucket number 3. And he looks at me and he goes, "Wow, I'm surprised I don't remember that." And I'm like, okay. And then I said, I kind of laughed it off a little bit. And I said to Dick, I go, and I said, well, you know, you and Bruce Grant all kind of led me to want to be in broadcasting. He goes, well, at least you didn't go hungry getting here.
wow,
Dick Richards, thank you very much.
Nice guy.
No, he was
Nice
a great
guy.
guy. He really is. It was in good fun.
Just
you
a funny guy.
right?
Yeah.
You didn't miss many meals
No.
getting here. Good for you. So you guys have you've got the 50th anniversary celebration.
Yeah, we've been celebrating it all year
Yeah.
long,
Right.
but today was actually the anniversary date. So
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we decided to get some balloons out and
Flowers.
some- yeah.
It was
we
the
made
studio's
Dave
all
wear a
dudded up.
shirt.
Yes, that was. I'd like to finally be able to wear a T-shirt,
Which I haven't gotten yet.
No,
Yeah.
well,
I remember
Well, we
day
could-
one of the 50th anniversary celebration. I said, hey, how about a shirt? And somebody who happens to be sitting in this room with flowing blonde locks said she'd get me one, and I didn't get it.
Honestly,
I
I
will
think
get
I got
you
the
a
last
shirt.
one. I think I got the last one.
I know. Those
Well,
went like hotcakes.
Yeah.
They really did.
Let's
Everybody
get down
wanted
to
a
business.
piece of history.
I
so.
have a really cool one, though, that I'll show you a
Okay.
little bit later on Facebook today. I'll send you the picture and
Okay.
see if you'll wear this other one.
Yeah.
And I think Dick Richards will be proud of you wearing this T-shirt.
Okay.
Let's just say it's gold in color.
I'd look good in it, wouldn't I?
Yes.
And you know what? I'll be getting a gold medal after this debate's over with. Lauren, if you would take the floor and please start our debate off.
I would like to say that I'm an unbiased journalist, and I'm just honored to be a part of this debate this morning.
And journalist is right, not like you.
Yes. I'm a moderator of this debate that we're going between Genesis and the Eagles. I'm going to start with Mr. O'Reilly.
Actually, I'm going to defer to Mr. Keckman.
That's
I would like to have him. I would like to have him.
Already breaking the rules of the debate. That's
I'm the
fine.
moderator.
All right,
I'm
I'll
in
start.
charge.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll start.
Okay.
Genesis was formed in 1967. 1967.
Okay.
In England. They have gone on to a career that has gone nonstop, minus a short break from 2006 until No, until 2006. They took a short break. Well, Phil Collins did his solo thing. They were innovators in how concerts are performed. They were innovators in stage and sound. They were innovators in pyrotechnics. They were innovators. You think I'm kidding?
Sorry.
Oh.
That was Dave.
Oh, it sounded like Dave. They were innovators in pyrotechnics. They were innovators in the progressive rock movement of the 1970s. And they have gone on, Genesis has gone on to sell 150 million albums worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have to say for an opening statement.
All right. I would like to hear from Dave Cackley.
Wow. How can I compete with the pyrotechnics of Genesis?
I got an idea. Let's have five guys standing around on a stage, staring at the floor, playing guitars.
You know what the Eagles did? They said,
Go ahead.
You know what? All we need is 4 guitars, a drum set, and 5 flannel shirts. We don't need pyrotechnics. We let the music speak for itself. You said Genesis was formed in 1967, 5 years before the Eagles. So they predated the Eagles. From 1967 to 1979, let's start 1972 when the Eagles' first album came out, which shot to number 1. The Eagles, from 1972 to 1979, when they were active, crushed Genesis. It wasn't even... In fact, Genesis concerts were reviewed. Genesis was called Genesnooze by concert reviewers. It was that lame and that horrible. The pyrotechnics couldn't defer from the fact that the music itself was terrible. It was like and terrible, and that's my opinion. Granted, Genesis had some success in the 80s. In fact, we talked about this.
I believe Mr. Cackley has the floor.
We talked about this.
Sorry, I had to go there.
When the Eagles were dominating during the 70s, we talked about this about 6 o'clock this morning. That was the most competitive era of music. You had the Stones, you had the Who, you had Led Zeppelin, you had Tom Petty, you had Aerosmith, you had Boston, you had all these great bands that the Eagles had to compete with. Then the 80s came, and you had Dexy's Midnight Runners. You had the Fine Young Cannibals. Wow. That is, man, to be successful during that era of music when you're Genesis, that's impressive. That's impressive. And let me just run off a list of, a list of artists you may or may not, probably not have heard of. Bob Willis and the Texas Playboys, Hal Blaine, Scotty Blaine, Chris Blackwell, the Flamingos, Jim Stewart, Benny Benjamin, Floyd Kramer, Jerry Moss. Do you know who any of these people are?
No.
These were all artists who aren't even household names in their own homes, who were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Genesis. Between the Eagles in 1998 and Genesis in 2010, these people all were considered more important to the music landscape than Genesis.
I believe it is time for Mr. O'Reilly's rebuttal.
Thank you. Okay, well... Outside of my opponent's complete personal interjection on his favorite kind of flaccid music, and which was honestly admitted, mostly opinion by him.
These names are all fact. They were all in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Genesis.
Earlier today, you said there was no such thing as you didn't care about award shows, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's an award show. So what difference does that make? All right. Nice try. That's a good try. It's a good try. I'll give you that.
Is that it?
No.
Because I have a couple of things that I would like to
I would like to just interject on Dave's. I'd like to rebut, as you said.
Please continue.
Yes. The Eagles were formed as Linda Ronstadt's backup band. They're 5 deadbeats that had nothing to do, so a producer said, look, I've got a star named Linda Ronstadt. Could you come in and play the songs for us, please? And at that point, they went, hey, we might be on to something here. Let's have everybody else write our songs, and we'll get on to it. So they were formed as Linda Ronstadt's backup band. Okay? They had nothing going on. You said... You brought up the record sales and the concerts and all this stuff.
I didn't bring up record sales. You brought up record sales.
You're right. The Genesis has sold 150 million albums worldwide, and they are in the top 30 highest-selling artists of all time, whereas the Eagles are held into the top 75 artists of all time for record sales with only 120 million records sold. Studio work, Genesis has got 15 studio albums, not including the live ones or the videos, whereas the Eagles cranked it out. They really did the job, and they put out 7 original recordings. That's about 35 songs. That's about 2.5, 3 hours of complete music. That's all you've gotten from the Eagles. They have done nothing to innovate the concert experience, In fact, you know what? Let me take this to another level. They did do one thing to the concert experience.
You have 30 seconds,
They
Mr. O'Reilly.
They jacked the prices up to about $225 a ticket, setting the example for all rock bands across the entire God's green earth to get up to the point where fans can't even afford to go see them anymore.
So
Mr. Cackley, the floor is yours.
I'm sorry, your problem is capitalism?
No, not at all.
People were willing to pay $225 to watch the Eagles. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because in 1994, after the Eagles, as Glenn Fry put it, didn't break up, we just took a 14-year vacation.
Mm-hmm.
They put on the greatest concert I've ever seen, and I wasn't even there. I saw it on VH1. I wasn't even a big Eagles fan at the time until I saw the show, and I realized, oh my God, they can open with Hotel California, arguably their greatest song by the greatest American band. And you know what? They're like, we don't care. We got 2,000 other songs. It was phenomenal. And you know what? They don't need pyrotechnics like Genesis used to keep people away from the fact that their music isn't very good.
What I would like to know is
And
why.
wait a second. I'm still talking. And
Gentlemen,
you brought up,
please stop circling each other. We need a distance between you two. A little distance, please.
you brought up albums. Of the 7 albums that the Eagles cranked out, 6 were number 1. 6 Grammy Awards, 5 American Music Awards. Just based on, it doesn't matter what criteria you're using to judge music, if you're talking about commercial success, if you're talking about critical acclaim, if you're talking about live performances, the Eagles crush Genesis every single time.
If I may right now, I know the folks at home and I know our listeners right now would like to hear maybe the top 5 songs by Genesis and maybe the top 5 songs by the Eagles. And let's do a nice comparison there. Andy?
I would have to say that Genesis came on with their biggest song, of course, would be "Invisible Touch," which everybody loved. That how many records? I think they sold more copies of that record than the Eagles sold altogether. To be honest with you, and then you get back into the Abacab, and you get back into "Home by the Sea." You get back into "Tonight, Tonight, Tonight," which was just a little bit of a hit. And Genesis, they're so good. They opened for the Bible. Okay.
Wow, that's impressive. The part of the Bible that had all the begats that nobody could keep track of. Fantastic, good point there. Gee, you named what, 5 Genesis songs?
I don't know that you named 5.
Yeah, I don't
Did
even
you
think you
name
named 5. Gee,
All
the
right,
Eagles, let's go.
I mean,
Let's go. And these are in no particular order of
I've
importance.
lost self-control.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Dave.
Hotel California, Heartache Tonight, Peaceful Easy Feeling, Take It to the Limit.
Again,
What do you want? Wait,
all remarkably boring and
Desperado,
nothing make. You know what?
Tequila
That one, I
Sunrise.
do
Oh,
love
yeah.
Desperado. That's a good
Tequila
one.
Sunrise.
Every time I'm contemplating
Already
suicide,
gone.
I put on Desperado.
In like 5 seconds, I already named. In fact, you know what? I'll throw out a song that isn't even Eagles related. Champagne Supernova. Well, we're talking lame British bands. Yeah. I went Champagne Supernova on you. You know why? Because they were better than Genesis. Yeah.
I was like, I
Noel
didn't know where you were
Gallagher.
going.
No, yeah. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Again, Dave is off track. And
I'm not
trying-
off track at all.
Clearly off track.
I'm showing you exactly what. That
And
Oasis.
you know what?
My point is, Oasis is better than Genesis.
You're making personal favorite comparisons.
I'm not making.
I
I'm
personally
giving you
can't
the
wait till
facts.
the election is over. I'm so tired of the arguing.
So let's have closing statements then, Lauren.
Well, first of all, can we at least have people go on Facebook and see who won this debate?
Oh, we
'Cause I
did
want-
that yesterday.
But
Well,
who
nobody
won
was
this
debating
debate
it.
today?
Oh, who won this debate
because
today?
I believe,
Okay.
you both came with strong appearances today, and I think our listeners should weigh in on who won this debate, and we'll get a percentage out there for the folks to see who won this debate.
Okay, well, we'll do that.
Well, we
Okay.
got to go to closing statements.
Closing
I'll
statements.
defer to you.
Let me just say this. Genesis has sold 30 million more records than the Eagles have. They've produced 8 more records than the Eagles have. They have got more. They innovated more in the world of live entertainment, music writing, and overall hits than the Eagles could ever dream of doing. The Eagles had 7 records. They were founded as a backup band for Linda Ronstadt to get her through the disco years, and they walked off on. And you know, they hate each other, to be honest with you.
Well,
That's all there is to that. So go ahead with your Eagles thing.
well, my dad made a very
Oh, your dad.
poignant statement in the 1980s.
Okay.
He said, David, this is the age of the exaltation of the mediocre. I believe Land of Confusion was blaring in the background. All right, facts are facts. From 70 to 79, when they were going head-to-head, the Eagles crushed Genesis. That's not up for debate. That's not up for argument. From 1980 to 1984 or 1994, the Eagles were on vacation. 1994, Hell Freezes Over comes out, number 1. 2003, another greatest hits compilation comes out. That hit number 3. 2008, they win another Grammy as a country act, crossing genres. It doesn't matter. Country music fans love them. Rock music fans love them. Can you say that about Genesis? And final point, if nobody had ever heard either band, and they both came out today, the truth is, the Eagles would be a country band, and they would be number 1. Genesis would come out, people would be going, did Oasis just throw up?
Gentlemen,
Thank you.
I appreciate.
God bless America.
I appreciate the debate and the cordialness between the two of you. I respect that between the two of you. And what I want to know is if, when the election actually comes out between these two bands, can we get rid of one of the band's songs for maybe a week or something?
Oh, Eagles, yeah, for sure.
You know what
Yeah,
I
of
mean?
course.
Like, can we make that happen?
I will give it a shot. Thank you for the nice debate. Unfortunately, everything that I've proven to you with just record sales alone.
I think you should shake hands and leave
Record
it.
sales
Leave it alone.
alone put Genesis out front.
I think,
regardless of your tasteless personal opinion,
We have to
I
put
just
it to
brought out
rest.
facts.
We have to
There you
put
go.
it to rest.
we
Okay.
have to put it to rest.
Yes.
So we put it on Facebook, and we'll let people compare.
Let the people decide.
But Lauren, as the
Thank you.
moderator, would 150 million records compared to 120 million records maybe tip the scales?
Honestly,
I'm
who
an
do you think?
unbiased
Okay,
journalist.
all right. She won't say
I'm
who won.
an unbiased
Of
journalist.
course. Thank you for nothing, Lauren Stanton.
Attention